Welcome to Gothtober.
She's in love with herself. She likes the dark. And on her milk white neck, the devil's mark. Now it's All Hallows Eve. Moon is full. Well, will she trick or treat? I'll bet she will.
InObscuria.
Welcome back, my friends, to the InObscuria podcast, a podcast where we exhume obscure rock and punk and metal, and we put them in one of three categories: the lost, the forgotten, or the should-have-beens. My name this week, it's just Kevin again.
Just plain Kevin.
Yeah, sounds scary enough.
But does it have an umlaut? That looks kind of creepier when you put the umlauts on.
Yes, umlaut above the N.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know what that means.
And that guy over there.
Who doesn't know what an umlaut means?
Count Robert Von Harrison.
I'm counting away. Counting the days, man.
Yes, counting down. It's spooky season.
It is. Right in the middle of it. I've been listening to dark wave, dark gothic, sexy gothic. Let's see, what other kind of...
What other genres have you found?
Anything that says gothic on it right now. I've just been... I'll put gothic in the search engine and just go with whatever it comes up with.
Did you listen to Hellbilly after last week?
No, but I did hear something on the radio. They were giving a tribute to someone named Eddie Cochran. Mm-hmm. And he was referred to as the father of rockabilly.
Yeah.
So he did the Ain't No Cure for the Summertime Blues.
That's his most popular one, yep.
So I heard a guy on the radio mention Eddie Cochran and credited him as the father of rockabilly. And so I didn't recognize the name, but then they played Stray Cats covering his big song, Ain't No Cure for the Summertime Blues. So everybody's heard that because they use it in advertising and stuff like that. But this is from like 1960. So yeah, I heard some good horrorbilly, rockabilly, hellbilly, all that. And then the next day I learned who the father is of rockabilly. So I got to go back now and kind of pull that up and go back to the beginning.
And Summertime Blues, also a great proto-metal version of that from Blue Cheer. That version is amazing.
Okay.
Look it up.
I learned something, man. Mm-hmm. Didn't mean to.
Rush did a version of Summertime Blues. You ever hear that?
No, I've heard maybe one cover by Rush. I just don't hear a lot of covers.
They did a covers EP a few years before they called it quits.
Okay.
That was on there.
They were kind of phoning it in.
No, they were just, they weren't phoning it in. They were putting on songs from...
Oh, I thought it was like during COVID, where they literally would phone it in.
No, they were long gone before COVID.
Yeah.
No, they were just putting out songs that influenced them to even start a band.
Okay. That would attract, yeah.
That's what we got. What do you have for us this week? Is there anything that people need to know?
Ain't no cure for the summertime.
About...
I don't know anything. It's spooky season. Man, what's going on? What's happening in the life of Captain Content?
Let's just take last night, for instance. I had a couple of friends in from Costa Rica, had some friends in from other parts of town. We all got together, had dinner, drinks were flowing. hung out. It was patio weather finally, meaning my patio finally. The mosquitoes have left us alone for a bit. And so hung out till about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, lost track of time. And I was in the middle of, I didn't mean to get pulled into this, but in the middle of a brainstorming evening for a Cirque du Soleil type show that's going to be held at a castle up in North Georgia.
What the hell did you just say?
Would you call it a design thinking session?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Let me back up. We were doing design thinking.
Lovely.
We were developing synergies for, the different committees and things. But yeah, I didn't know I was going to be involved in that. So that was kind of a curveball. But first of all, did you know there's an actual castle in North Georgia?
I did not know this.
It was built 2 years ago. So it's brand new castle. But this dude apparently made a lot of money building sailing ships.
Okay.
One of the things you're like, what the? Yeah, so this guy decided to get into making sailing ships, made a shipload of money.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And then decided to build this.
Yeah,
you like that? Yeah, it's right outside Helen. So he built this castle for his grandkids, and it's huge. So it's got room for festivals and things. And my friends are going to they're going to rent this castle for a month next May, and they're going to do this huge show. And they've already had this promotional video made, and so I've got friends that are in the performance business. Let's just say they do, the aerial rigging, and they do.
So are you going to do some acrobatics yourself?
Definitely not.
I figured that's
definitely not.
No.
No. They said, oh, you know what we need, Robert? We would love it if you could. This is going to sound kind of weird, but could you make a guitar that shoots fire?
Did they really ask that?
They did. Dead serious. And I'm like, have you not been upstairs?
Yeah,
you've been upstairs, and I've showed you.
Maybe you haven't seen the prototype.
Yeah, the room full of guitars, and I'm damn sure that I showed you the one that shoots fire. So. We're going to have to come up with a new guitar because that was a really crappy Ibanez that I used for the flame-throwing guitar. So I think I'm going to upgrade to something a little bit nicer. Not that Ibanez is bad, but this particular Ibanez was horrible.
Was a piece of shit.
Yeah, it was a piece of shit. It would not hold its tune for more than 5 minutes. So I would tune it, walk out, play a song, and it was out of tune by the end of the song. So I gave up. I retired it after that one show that I shot fire.
Yes, you did. Well, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
so you are involved in the actual production.
Not officially, but I got sucked into it just because, things happen like that.
What song will you be playing?
Oh, no. I think I'll be behind the scenes.
Oh.
I think I'll just do technical side of things.
Wait, well, who's playing the guitar?
I don't care.
Oh, okay.
They said some good-looking guy, shirtless, good-looking guy. I'm like, oh, that's not me, definitely. They've got to sell
pull
tickets.
Off one of those.
Yeah, they got to sell tickets. So I think I'll stay behind the scenes to make them more profitable. I think they're thinking more like a Chippendales type show than I'm willing to participate in. Yeah.
Oh, behave! Yeah! Yeah, baby, yeah!
Yeah, that's not part of your history.
No,
did that one?
No, not on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
check that off your
It was
bucket
hot
list,
a couple
man.
of times, and I'm like, yeah, it's too hot. I'm going to take off my No, I don't get. I get paid not to do that. They're like, no, keep your shirt on, please.
Well, I noticed you didn't say a thing about the opening. I thought for sure you were going to make some comment. So hold on. There's
very nice.
My Mexican absinthe.
I was going to have a beer, but I just had dinner. I'm really super stuffed, and there's no room. I need to wait about 30. It's like going swimming. I need about 30 minutes before I have a beer.
Okay.
Otherwise, I might drown.
So no words, no comments.
About the opening?
About the opening.
I loved it. Of course I loved that.
Okay. All right.
Just his voice. That's the time of the year that lots of fun things happen in the fall. Lots of good festivals. Gothtober happens. So when I hear his voice, it's just like, when you're a kid and you hear Santa Claus on the radio or something, you're like, oh yeah, here it comes. Gift time.
Yep. Peter Claus.
So yeah, he's good. I went looking for trouble.
You ready?
And I found her.
Yeah.
Like, oh hell yeah, I found her 4 or 5 times. Different color hair, different heights. Yeah. Different names, but I found her.
You are a sexist pig.
Well, after you find your Little Miss Scare-All, go listen to Pod of Thunder, Cobras and Fire, Growing Up Rock, Slamfest Podcast, Decibel Geek, A to Z Radio, The Hustle, Metal Up Your Podcast, Disciples of the Watch, Podcast Rock City, Sean Geek and Fast Fret Podcast, State of Amorica, Rock Strikes 10, Potter Than Hell, Shout It Out Loudcast, The Ron Keel Podcast, The Kiss Room, Ages of Rock, Retrozest Podcast, and Doomed! Forget about Monty.
Hey, it's Monty.
Monty's Rockcast. I was just listening to a little Monty
How's he
on my way
doing?
over here. Sounds like he's doing well. He was talking about the fact that they're getting together in October and they're writing the new Galactic Cowboys album.
So what do you
Pre-production
think?
has
Maybe
begun.
Recording around January, February. What do you think their timeline is?
You know, I haven't gotten that far in the podcast, but I'll update you next.
I don't know how fast they write. Some bands it'll be like the week after, and some bands it'll be 4 years later.
I have a feeling they'll do this pretty quickly.
Okay, well they got the momentum.
I think they got the money too,
And the
so
money,
I think
yeah.
we'll get something.
Oh, they're earning
early next year.
They're earning interest on all the money they raise, so there may not be that urgent.
Good point.
Interest rates are still kind of up there. They're getting maybe 8 or 9%. They've got it in municipal bonds, which are pretty safe.
Okay, well,
Tell them to give me a call. I'll help them out.
all right. And then go visit us at InObscuria.com. Like us, share us, Facebook, X, Instagram. All right. Third weekend. And here we go again. We're going to continue with our Halloween tradition. And what is that, you ask? What? Oh, it's this.
Halloween! Time for trick or treating and my delicious chocolate cereal, Count Chocula.
Halloween is the perfect time to scare up a nutritious breakfast with my delicious strawberry-flavored Frankenberry.
Taste some monster cereal. Try some monster cereal. Here we come, trick or treat.
All right, before we get into what you've got in your magic sack,
Yep.
I consider that dessert because it's not Saturday morning. There are no cartoons. So normally what we've been imbibing in and sampling in is considered dessert to me. So before we got to have the main course.
Okay.
And I got you something right here.
Oh, no. Oh, I got a fork, too. Okay.
Fork and A.
All right.
So this was my main course tonight.
Am I revealing now?
Yeah.
All right. We're taking the plate off. The dog is at
The
my
dog
feet.
is ready to go.
Oh, what do we have here? I'm gonna
Drooling on the floor
sniff
next to you.
Some sort of seafood.
Yes, it's tilapia. Tilapia, whatever.
Tilapia. Okay. And how did you prepare this?
It's
chef?
got a white wine garlic cream sauce.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nothing
ready?
says Gothtober like a little
Little
cream sauce on
and
tilapia.
tilapia. I know. I had to break up the gothiness. I'm getting pretty good at that sauce right there. I've been practicing that a couple of times.
For the ass smear people.
Yeah, exactly.
That is good. Buddy, I'll give you some.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll give you
he can have the remains. But you need to stay late after the podcast. I'll teach you how to make that. You go home and just impress the hell out of your wife because she likes that level of food preparedness. I've seen her when she goes out to eat. She likes the good stuff.
Are you saying
I'm saying.
that I don't know how to do? You're right.
I'm just saying.
You're absolutely right.
You're good at the things you do. Now, you've got some things down because I've been over there. You nailed it. But the chili and the baked potato was delicious.
I can heat up a baked
You
potato
can
like
heat-
nobody's
you
business.
knocked the hell out of that, man.
Man.
With the extra cheese, the
When it-
sour cream in the middle of it.
Let me tell you something.
It was damn delicious.
When it comes to just putting fire on a piece of food
Yeah.
and just heating it up, man, I can do
And
that.
that's a man's job right
I can
there.
do that
There's
all day
danger
long.
involved and food, and you're going to put danger and food together, and that's your job right there, and you do it well. But, sometimes when the kids are, ballet or whatever football practice they go to,
What the hell you say?
you can do
football practice.
Football practice.
No.
I think
no.
you're, yeah.
No, we're not there.
You're not there. Okay. No quarterbacks in your family?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we've had the main
Now-
course. So nothing goes with sweet cereal like garlic and shallots.
when I
See, I just sabotaged you right there.
every time I have a delicious piece of fish, I always think, you know what I need next?
Damn cereal.
I need some monster cereal to go with that. No, we're not doing monster cereal this year. No. We've tried already this year. We're trying the other brands that are out there.
Offshoots.
They're all trying to compete with the monsters. And so we tried Wednesday from Adam's Family.
Damn good.
Really good.
Yeah, I'd say really good.
Really,
on that one.
really good. If you find
Go
it,
find
eat it.
Wednesday cereal
Yeah,
on
just
whatever day of the week you
steal
like
it off the shelves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we said it's okay.
And then last week we had Halloween Fruity Pebbles, which were just Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah. Now, granted, if I was a marketing department and they came in and said, okay, make this haunted and Halloweeny, I'd be like, Fruity Pebbles? That would be a daunting task. It's hard to make Fruity Pebbles sound
They could have thrown
scary.
in some like ghost marshmallows or something.
I guess so.
But
yeah, it was just repackaged Fruity Pebbles.
they just made sure that all the Fruity Pebbles were orange and purple. That was the only thing they
Right.
did.
Now, I can't remember what the original colors were, but yeah,
They took out the red, yellow, and blue.
okay, red, yellow, and blue out, just the other colors.
Keep the other colors that
Tasted
you already have.
exactly like I remember Fruity Pebbles tasting. And that was never my bag. I thought it was okay, but I never sought it out.
I loved it.
Did you?
I took that box home, and my
did
kids have never had it, and I just put it in front of them. I was
Just
like,
set it down.
just go ahead. Just give it a try.
Yeah.
And yeah, I converted some young
Oh,
children.
They double fisting the
Oh,
Fruity
yeah.
Pebbles.
What are you doing behind me, dog? You're still eating. There's no way there was one little piece of fish.
Ronnie James DOG.
Oh, that's what that was. I thought something was ringing. It's him pushing the dish around the floor.
All right, so what do we have? The grand reveal here. Let's see here. It's his family size because when you're sampling the two of us, we
If
need
you're-
family
well, and
size.
especially now, if you're going to take it home to your addicted kids, you've got them gooped up on sugar.
So from one captain to another, we have a limited edition Captain Crunch Halloween Crunch.
I love Captain Crunch. That peanut butter flavor.
I don't think that's what this is.
I know, but I mean that's what I really love. So I don't know what flavor regular Captain Crunch is.
Well, now see, this is proper. This is a proper box here because it says the ghost. So they put ghost in it. It says the ghost. Turn your milk green.
What? I don't have any milk.
Well, we're not doing milk.
Yeah, that's right.
But
It's dry testing.
take our word for
We're
it.
doing dry testing.
Sounds painful.
It's not tainted.
All right, let's get into this. Oh, the dog, man. Dio is my best friend right now.
He is your best friend.
Hello.
That's what he waits for. He distracts you and you drop stuff on the floor. And he's like, success. Yeah.
All right.
His nickname is Hoover.
All right, let's get our Viking mugs out. You got yours, sir? Skål! Oh, wait, we can't do that. We're cereal.
That is the most un-Viking thing, is eating sugar cereal.
I think this is
out of
totally
the mug.
Viking, what we're doing.
I don't know.
We're pillaging the cereal aisle.
The next time I'm around my Viking friends, I'll ask.
All right, so aesthetically, it's Captain Crunch, and it looks like it's got, I don't know, a little, it's
No,
kind
that's
of
normal.
pink.
That's normal. This is just like the Fruity Pebbles.
Is
it
it
was
really?
it was just the box. Yeah, it's normal. Normal Captain Crunch.
Sons of bitches.
Wow, 2 in a row.
Still good.
That's still good though.
Are you sure those are, I think those are Ghost. I think the little pink ones are Ghost.
But the original had something pink in there. It was,
Nope. That's not true.
What?
Original Captain Crunch is just the yellow stuff. Then they had Crunch Berries.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Crunch Berry.
And those were the pink.
Well, after 4
round
years,
berries.
this is the first time I've ever been wrong on this podcast.
There's always first time.
Tonight.
Oh, man.
All right, that's good.
Okay. Here again, it's so good right now.
Yeah.
In a few minutes,
I can already tell. Like, I'm third bite into it, and I can tell it's just starting to go, no, it's point of diminishing return is 3 bitefuls.
okay.
Yeah.
Captain Crunch.
Boy, this gets in your teeth, too. Mm-hmm. All right.
I remember as a kid, Captain Crunch would actually cut your gums.
Oh, God, yeah.
You didn't let it sit in the milk for a little bit.
Is this like the PG
This one's not
or
doing that.
G-rated? Yeah, that stuff would get up in there. That and honeycombs.
I don't remember that one.
They're really big, and if you got a broken one and just
I don't think I've ever tried it.
jabbed it up into your roof of your mouth, yeah, that was not fun.
And then you get stung by bees if they left them in there, right?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Honest to God, it boils my piss.
That's a dad joke. I'll leave now.
Well, you are a dad. You're allowed.
It's legit.
It's expected.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into this week, shall we?
Let's do it, man.
All right. Let's do this.
People have heard me chewing enough.
All right. So hopefully it was quite apparent with our entry of what week 3 of Gothtober will be about. Perhaps.
Crunch Rock.
What the hell did you just say?
No. I'm thinking prior to that.
Oh, okay.
Something you heard. So at the end of August, I don't know if you remember this, at the end of August, we launched a new series. that you brought to us. Do you remember?
No.
Oh, you don't. You've already forgotten.
I was waiting for the crickets to start chirping in the background.
Yeah, well, that'll probably happen. Okay, let me just say this. In August, the one and the only brought this to us.
Okay. That was 2 months ago.
Captain Contact.
Kevin, I have a question. A song or part of a song just popped into my head. Something reminded me of it. And I can't think of who it is, what the song is. It's kind of like droney, kind of cool, kind of, I don't know, metal, I guess, maybe. I want to say it was from the late 80s, early 90s.
I actually wrote this song, Halloween in Heaven, for Dimebag Darrell. And so that song is about old dead rock stars. And I didn't want to mention his name because I didn't want it to appear that Typo Negative or Peter was exploiting Darrell, because he was a very close friend with the band, and he was actually one of Kenny's best friends.
Halloween in heaven. Halloween in heaven. Oh, well, oh, well. Halloween in heaven. Christmas in hell. Halloween in heaven. Oh, well, oh, well. Halloween in heaven. Halloween in heaven.
So
Right.
that song was written about Dimebag.
That's right.
Really?
Yep.
That's cool. I love learning stuff from bands that I thought, okay, I've heard everything, listened to everything, and then all of a sudden you come at me with knowledge.
Well, it was all because of the questioning of the Mighty K.
Yeah, led you down that rabbit hole.
And obviously you approved this, so we're going to do it. We're bringing back the series. It's the second now in the series that we started.
Already?
That you don't remember. Episode 252, In the Shadow
Oh,
of
yeah, that one.
Typo Negative.
Yeah.
So, again.
That's a big shadow, too. I like that shadow. Dark shadow.
I think you might like this. I don't know. You may say, it's shit. Who knows?
Well, here we go. Bands that you really love, once you hear other bands, you're like, nope. And you're very protective of that band versus bands you just kind of like. You're like, oh, that sounds like so-and-so cool. So
we'll see.
The Pink Floyd, all the Pink Floyd cover bands out there, you're like, nope, you missed that one note. You're a half a beat off.
Well, that's because they're covering it.
Covering it.
What we're doing with In the Shadow of in this series, what we do is we explore bands that have similar vibes to a more mainstream or a bigger band than perhaps they are.
Yeah, so we don't expect them to be exactly like the band we're talking
just,
about, but
they share the same sonic landscape.
Shade tree, yes. Within the drip line.
The drip line. I like
That's
that.
the technical term. The width of the tree is considered the drip line.
Okay.
So within the drip line of the tree.
All right. So we're going to see, are there bands out there who have a shared sound and vision with October Rust? The ones who brought us that, at least.
Best
Typo
damn
Negative
albums
is
ever.
A great album.
I'm saving it. I haven't listened to it yet.
Oh, you're waiting.
Maybe next week I'll listen to it. I can't wait.
Maybe after this you'll be inspired to go listen. But I believe the bands that we're playing here tonight have listened to that album. I'm going to take a guess and say that they've listened a little bit to that particular album and perhaps all the other Typo Negative albums that are out there. It's been said that there's no originality in rock and roll and that, it's all the same three chords. Yeah, a lot of people have said that. But, I think the sincerest form of flattery is, when you can imitate someone and you wear those influences on your sleeve, if you will. And I think most bands start because of that, because they want to emulate another band or an artist that they really like. And that's the whole reason they pick up the guitar.
So what was that first band that you wanted to emulate?
Well, let's see. For me, there were these four guys.
No, Rush was a three-piece.
You're right about that. It was no.
Foghat?
No.
They were five-piece.
Maybe
7-piece.
They were an 8-piece.
8-piece.
No, I don't know. I have no idea.
They were on Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket.
They had a lot of pieces. No, I think it was Kiss. There's your Kiss connection with K.
Or K.
No reaction from the dog.
No, he's over it now.
That's because he's eating Captain Crunch. He's like,
full.
I gotta lay down because I don't know what the hell I just ate.
Nap time.
Yeah, that's who mine was. Who did you pick up the guitar and want to be?
Well, David Gilmour.
Of course. Okay, so let's get into this.
I totally achieved that.
Yeah, as did I.
They just, this new when the podcast comes out, this news will be old, but they just sold their catalog for a cool 400 million.
I heard 7.
No, it was 400 because effing Roger Waters had to run his mouth. Like 4 years ago, they were ready to sign a deal, and he starts making anti-Semitic comments and praising Putin and stuff like that. And so the record companies were like,
What's wrong with you?
and finally they came to an agreement for 400. Yeah. So David Gilmour's like, shut your pie hole, Roger.
Ornery old Roger.
And then there's Nick Mason talking. I can't remember the exact quote, but it was the best English quote about two noticeably elderly men throwing rocks at each other, something like that.
Two
It was
prickly pears.
Yeah, it was perfect the way I have to go back and find it. It was just the most eloquent English insult to both of them. Like,
right.
These guys can't get their shit together.
You guys are so old, you're acting like you're 13.
Exactly. That's basically what he said, but he did it much more eloquently than I could.
Right. Okay, so let's get into this. Type O negative. What more can we say about one of our collectively, one of our favorite bands of all time? One that we actually revisit quite often.
Because it's our podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe they're not that obscure.
So what?
Who cares?
We made the rules.
We did a full episode on their whole discography a couple of years ago. It was a Should Have Been Huge, episode 96. That was Gothtober of 2021.
God, that was
it's
a good
been
Gothtober.
that long.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Very gothy.
American Gothic metal band. And Matt said that they were death rock.
Yeah, because
there's all sorts of labels.
Death metal is more that kind of thing, like you're puking.
They get a little bit of that every once in a while.
But he's got a lot more melodic songs than they do the really retching ones.
Band formed in Brooklyn, New York, if you couldn't tell from Peter's accent in that clip. Formed in 1989 out of a thrash band called Carnivore. And Peter decided to do something different. He's known for, or was known for, his vampiric appearance, and he was also 6'8". He was a big dude, had that baritone, but he could also screech really high. Just an incredible, ominous-looking frontman.
Yeah.
To say the least.
He lived it.
Yeah. And they were goth, but they had an incredible sense of humor. And the sense of humor comes out in every album. So they don't take themselves too seriously. And that's part of why I really love that band. They kind of take the piss out of themselves when they can. But at the same time, they can deliver something that's very meaningful and dark and heavy.
Oh, yeah.
So
I've experienced that.
Pete died of sepsis in 2010, and it seems crazy now to think about that because 2010, I mean, that's a long time. That's 14 years ago now, man. That's
sucks,
crazy.
He would have been out there making more and more music.
Yeah. So somewhat mainstream, I would say, for a very short period in the 90s, and then after that, it kind of went back down to, it was a very niche thing going on, and it was, in the mid-90s, Pete was also on the Ricky Lake show. He was on Jerry Springer and Howard Stern. So, again, they had some success to where they were doing that kind of circuit. And I was wondering, we haven't done this before. I was wondering, how big were they according to record sales and things like that? Like, how did they actually do? We think of them as, obviously, a big band, but because we love the band. But we know that they didn't make that many sales, or at least that's what we think, because we featured them here on InObscuria. Well, let's just take a look. So collectively, over their discography, they sold 2.5 million albums in the United States. And as of now, they've had over 98.4 million streams.
I have no idea. I mean, does that equate to about $1.50?
Oh,
from 98 million
sales-wise, I'm not sure. The streams aren't giving them much. But
but 2 million
obviously
record sales.
Yeah, streams weren't a thing when they were still around.
Yeah.
But now, that's pretty. That's a good number to me. At this point in time, to still have that many streams. They released 7 studio albums, 3 live albums, 2 compilation albums, 2 video albums, 16 singles, and 10 music videos. Bloody Kisses, which was their, I think, 3rd official album, released in 1993, went platinum. So it sold really well. October Rust, the one we were just talking about, released in 1996. That one went gold. Almost got to platinum, but never reached platinum.
I would have thought it was platinum, as much as I love it.
Right. And then after that, it was kind of back to no platinum or gold albums. They had World Coming Down in 99, Life is Killing Me in 2003, and Dead Again in 2007. None of those charted. So that's how they did. I mean, they still did pretty damn good.
Yeah, and I'm sure they made money, but he's famous for, keeping his day job.
That's right. And he talked about that in almost every interview, that he was still
employed with the city of New York.
Yeah, worked for the city, cleaned up
the Parks and Recreation or something like that.
Yeah, he drove a truck and cleaned up and emptied garbage and did whatever, cleaned up the areas, and
that's the wildest thing.
kept his day job for
Yeah.
a long time. And I think he did quit it for a little bit when they were doing some heavy touring, but then he would come back home and he started his job again.
That's awesome.
I would say that their influence far outweighs their record sales, and you're going to see tonight how much of an impact they are still having on bands, because some of these bands are even newer bands, and like we just said, he passed away in 2010, but the band really didn't do anything after 2007. So let's start with one that has a direct connection to Typo Negative, because obviously after Peter died, the guys were in the band were still wanting to do something, and so we got a few different bands out of it. This is one that we got, and of course they have some similarities to the band they were in. So first up, this is a band that we've played before, we've talked about before. This is a band called A Pale Horse Named Death.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them.
Yeah, they're amazing. Band was formed in 2010, so the same year that Pete passed away. Sal Abrascato, the former drummer of Typo Negative and Life of Agony, formed this band. He moved to guitar, though. He did not play drums in this band. He wrote songs, he sang, and he played guitar. And he was the drummer for the first 3 albums. And then he left right before the Bloody Kisses tour. So he left right before the height of their popularity.
Oops.
But he went out to play with Life of Agony, who also did fairly well at that same time.
He was that guy that left the Eagles. Well, not Don Felder. There was another one that didn't they leave earlier?
You're asking a guy who hates the Eagles facts.
I know that.
I will tell you nothing.
Have I mentioned I'm a jackass sometimes?
That guy that left the Eagles. I don't know. I wish they would have all left.
Get out.
Yeah, so Sal plays guitar, sings on this band. I think the style is similar to Typo Negative, mixed with Alice in Chains. So it has a really cool vibe to it.
Best of two great worlds.
The album covers, if you look at the artwork, you're like, oh yeah, that guy was in Typo Negative. Every single cover has that green and black tint to it.
The green light.
Yeah, they have 4 albums. They all
have the green light. And stage shows, if you've never seen video of their stage shows,
it's all green
It's
light.
all black and the green light.
The green smoke.
That was their thing.
Yeah, that was their thing. That's what they did. I actually love that aesthetic. So yeah, they took the same aesthetic forward with this band. At one point, John Kelly, who was his drumming replacement in Typo Negative, was also the drummer in this band. So you had 2 drummers in this band.
Come on over. Hang out.
Only had 4 releases. In 2021, Sal said that he's not doing A Pale Horse Named Death anymore, and now he's with a band called King of the Locusts. They have yet to put anything out.
We'll wait.
But I'm assuming it's going to be
for them.
Heavier. That's what he kind of said. It was going to be heavier than A Pale Horse, but A Pale Horse is pretty damn heavy and really good. And I think there are some definite similarities here. You be the judge, sir. Here we go with the song called Shallow Grave off their second album, Lay My Soul to Waste.
Which is our other repeating series. You know, we probably should have saved that until April Fool's and just said, hey, unreleased Alice in Chains.
Well, that was sort of the idea behind In the Shadow of. Yeah. That's sort of how we started. But, you know, I think it's time to move on.
Yeah, we've done
this.
Yeah.
So it starts with a distorted droning kind of bass line, and then you get the drums, and the drums almost sound like they could have been manipulated, a little electronic, little canned sounding, just like Typo Negative.
They weren't afraid to put a little electronics in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact is that there were no live drums on Typo Negative recordings until the very end.
That's right.
They were always programmed drums. Yeah. And so,
me not being the drummer, of course, did not notice that at all until you told me.
I never knew for a fact. I thought maybe they were triggers, because that's the thing that people did in the 90s was they would put these triggers on the drums. So even though you're hitting real drums, it's triggering the electronic sound that's coming out of whatever processor.
Pre-recorded somewhere.
Yeah, so that was a big thing in the 90s. So I never really knew, but yeah, it was a fact. They just programmed the drums. So these two guys in this band didn't really play on the albums. They just played live, because they were both drummers.
But they got the experience, though. We'll give them credit.
They definitely got the experience, because here's their writing, and it does sound like a mix of Typo Negative and Alice in Chains.
100%. It's not just kind of like that.
Yeah.
They nailed it, and I love it. I want more of that, because two great bands that I'll never hear, or probably will never hear new stuff from.
4 fantastic albums. I recommend all of their material. It's really, really good. A Pale Horse Named Death.
Yeah, the last time we played them, I went back and spent probably an afternoon or two listening to those, working in the garage, and I've got to do that again now.
So it only makes sense that that band would sound like Typo Negative, or at least be related to Typo Negative, because they are. It's got 2 of the members.
It would be more of a surprise if they didn't.
If they didn't, right. But how about a band that has nothing to do with Typo Negative, who were formed in the autumn of 1997 in Slovakia?
I don't know.
Slovakia.
Yeah, just not sh.
Slavic.
Okay,
yes.
Slavic. Yeah, it's true.
What did they have to do with Typo Negative? Real?
It was cold. How about that?
I guess they just liked them, because their first 2 albums released in 2001 and 2003 have very, very strong Typo influences. But they do have another album that came out maybe 2 years later, and it sounds just like a band we just saw. It sounds just like Sisters of Mercy. They just like their goth, apparently,
this band. Point at a band and go, okay, that's what we're doing next.
We're going to do something like that.
Yeah. They need our banner. It would help out. They just took our banner. They could point at any of these bands on the banner, like, okay, there we go. Heavy Pettin'.
That's the next album's going to sound like Heavy Pettin'. They're going to a Slovakian band doing a very Scottish hair metal thing.
I think I'll email them. I'll let them know.
Yeah. So they put out those 3 albums. They took 9 years off, and then they released their 4th album in 2014, and they were kind of back to Typo Negative sound on that one. So
come on back. Bring it back.
Now, the lead vocalist, Drac. Of course his name's Drac. Come on. Yes, Drac.
That's a Bond villain.
He began to play bass on the 4th album, and he did that to honor the memory of one Peter Steele, who had passed away the same year that they were recording it. So
now, did he do the whole, let's take an upright bass, put a strap on the upright bass, and play it like a regular bass?
Normal-sized people can't do that.
I didn't think so, but it'd be cool if he attempted it. Just let it sit on the floor and play sideways.
Yeah, if you've never seen that video for Black Number One, that's what Peter does.
And keep in mind, that's a regular upright bass. That's not a small cello or something like that.
It looks like a guitar.
Yeah, it looks like a cello or a guitar. Whatever. Your daughter plays that, I think. What's it?
The viola.
Viola. Yeah. So it looks like a viola, but it's a full upright bass.
Yeah, pretty crazy. No, I don't think this guy did that. I'm going to play from one of their earlier albums, so from their 2nd album, which is called Lunar Bright Shine and Fiery Splendor. Wow. Now, the name of this band, we want to be goth.
Yeah.
We want to be metal. Mm-hmm. We want to...
The guy's name is Drac.
The guy's name is Drac. We want to evoke a certain emotion when you hear our band name.
Yeah.
This band is called... Frown.
No. No, goddamn. You have Drakenstein. That would have been much better. Come on, guys.
They're from Slovakia.
Okay, I've got to send them an email anyway. I'll put that in the footnotes of the email.
Well, I think you'll be happy with their output after you hear this. This is the song Last Summer Days. Now, just think back to the first time you listened to October Rust and just have that thought in your head.
Okay.
suffering. Pain is knocking on the door. I can see them covering. Night falls day. I am loaded. A summer days. Are coming too soon. I know that this symptom slowly fades away.
If you could just go ahead and play the next track for that album, because I'd like to hear some more.
Just play their first two albums all the way through.
If you don't mind, just go. And I'm pissed because I already looked up. Spotify has a whopping 3 songs.
What?
Like, damn it! All the stuff that I want to hear.
You know why? Because Spotify sucks.
I bet. Are they like Linkin Park?
They're exactly like Linkin Park. They share that with Linkin Park. In fact, when Spotify put Linkin Park on their site,
they both crashed.
It really sucked. It sucked more than it could possibly suck.
The ultimate succubuses. It's a bus full of suck.
Just total suck site.
So what am I supposed to do?
Oh, wait, that's a different kind of website.
Oh, yeah, don't go there. Do not go there. So what am I supposed to use? What do the cool kids use these days?
You purchase albums.
How do you do that?
No, you can use Amazon.
There are no album stores.
Oh, there are plenty of stores.
No, you can go to the mall. There's no album stores in the mall anymore.
Yes, there's no record bar at the mall. You don't, like, when's the last time you went to a mall? Who are you kidding?
About every 4 months when I have to get my laptop fixed, because that's where the Apple store is. And it's the most sad experience. Everybody knows this. Anywhere in America these days,
malls are
there might be 1 or 2 exceptions, but you go into the mall to go to the Apple store, and it's just like, this is sad. It's like a precursor to the zombie apocalypse. There's closed stores. I mean, like closed stores, not
I think they made a movie about that.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, Dawn of the Dead.
You made me watch that, man. I still have
so
nightmares.
Good.
No,
it's so good.
No, I can't go to malls because I have anxiety.
Because you expect zombies to be there.
I expect zombies. I'm like, fuck off. These people are
you
following.
just start killing people.
Well, there's people following me. And I'm like, fuck off, you ass. And then I realize it's the people giving free samples at the food court.
Yeah. So then you've killed 3 of them.
Yeah, I stab them with a toothpick.
I knew there were zombies.
Exactly. It's like, ow. Why you stab me?
So a little bit of similarity there between Brown and Typo.
Okay, let's get back to why we're here. Yeah, so a tiny bit, just a smidge of absolute exact spot on similarity with his, I mean, everything. They studied, they must have had a spreadsheet. Once again, I'm working spreadsheets into the podcast.
Nice.
But yeah, you sit down and go, let's have a, what do you call it? The thing, the corporate, they do digital.
A design thinking session on how to be typo negative.
Exactly. They had a design thinking session. Right. With a PowerPoint display.
What question are we trying to answer? The question is, how can we be more like typo negative?
What question? Oh my God, this is why.
We need to boil this down to a single question that we are trying to answer.
I would last 4.5 minutes in a corporate board meeting because they're like, get out. I'm rolling on the floor laughing.
Robert, I appreciate your thoughts. And I'm going to put them over here in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll get back to that.
The parking lot?
Yes.
Seriously, these are things that are said.
These are things that are said. Yes, we're going to park that. We're going to park that over here. I'm going to write it down in the parking lot.
That's a backhanded compliment. Like, that's such a dumb idea. We're not going to discuss it. I'm going to put it way back here in the dumb idea box.
You know what? I think that is an excellent idea. I'm going to put that in the backlog Okay, well, that's going to go in the
I
backlog.
got a log for you, asshole. Robert, get out. Security.
Oh, back to Drac.
Yes.
He sounded a lot like Peter Steele,
Just
man.
a tiny bit. And then the music, the heaviness, the best part for me, on top of all of that, they have figured out, like I've preached, the heavy of the heaviest drums, bass, and guitar, and then put in some, can I say, ethereal
Oh,
keys?
you could say that.
Yeah, right over the top. Not heavy keys, not
just some lightness
acidic,
sprinkled on
just
top.
light keys.
Yeah.
And it just
And that's what gives you the
changes
goth.
It. It is gothic and it's almost spiritual in nature.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
They nailed it.
Nailed it. Ding, 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 ding. So they were right at the base of the tree. They weren't like way out in the drip line. They were right there.
We might be getting to one of those
It's the
next.
root ball.
So here's another band.
You're getting corporate lingo. You're getting
educated here in Gothtober.
Arbornomics.
Arbornomics.
Yes.
Okay, so next is a band that I called last year. We featured them on our Goth Rock
Their name was
episode.
last year?
No, I called them last year the hardest working band. I said the hardest working goths on Bandcamp. It's who this band is. They're called Unto Others. And we played them on episode 198. And I talked about how they're always touring and recording. They're doing what bands do, but they're really good at promoting the hell out of themselves. I liked them.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to one song and I gave them a like. And you would think that I am fan number one because I must get, and I do love them.
Spam.
I must get, 3 things a day from this band.
Yeah.
It's in my email. It comes to me from Bandcamp. You get the double whammy if you like them on Bandcamp too. But they're good. They're really good. So I don't mind that much.
No,
but man, they work
I'm the
hard.
same way. I respect that.
So it's a U.S. band from Portland, Oregon. From 2017, we talked about this last time. From 2017 to 2020, they were named Idle Hands, but they had renamed themselves because of a trademark issue.
I know the devil trademarked that. He's like, nope, that's my playground.
So they basically put out their album that they had as Idle Hands. They got a new name and they put the new logo on it and they just went on.
They
just
did
moved
not
on.
wallow about in their misery. No.
And now they're Unto Others. And they've released 4 singles, 4 EPs, now 4 full lengths. They just released a new album about a month ago. And of course, I got it pre-ordered and got it in the mail. And I took the old vinyl out and it smelled like new vinyl.
Like
It was so good. It smelled like goth vinyl. It was purplish.
It's like a niche fragrance.
Yeah, something they pour into.
You just rub it on yourself.
I think they kill a bat and then they put that in the mix with the vinyl, and it's really really good. Now, what I'll say about this band is their new album is Never Neverland. Go check that out; it's really good. But what I'll say about this band is they run the gamut of goth. So they can have like popular goth, they can have the dark wave, they can do metal, they can do just kind of hard rock with kind of a dark theme, underlying theme. So they're kind of all over the place.
Do we call it flex goth?
Flexible goth, yes. That's exactly what they are. Now, of course, if we're going to play something similar to Typo, we're going to go into their heavier leanings. So I'm going to give you something here from their album that came out in 2019 called Mana, and this is a song called Double Negative from Unto Others.
time and I'll be fine. I don't want to die, but I'm going to try, 'cause I'm getting tired of living. What if I could die? Would you be alright? Would you suffer here without me? Give me some time and I'll be fine. I don't want to die, but I'm going to try, 'cause I'm getting tired of living. Suicide, suicide. I don't want to die, but I'm going to try. Get used to life without me. I don't want to be alive. You will be alright if you give it some time, but either way it doesn't matter. Let's see if I can fly.
This may be off the rails completely, but the beginning of that, just the intro before it got really heavy, had a big reminder of Rush. Natural Rush resemblance with an R.
Okay.
Some of their later stuff. But then it kicked into pure Volbeat. Which,
Okay.
not a bad thing. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I don't hate them. But it had the essence of Typo. It was not a band that sounds exactly like them. They're doing their own thing.
Right.
But I liked his vocal style where it was under control, but it was like going around a curve a little too fast. You feel the back end kind of slipping out a little bit, but you're hanging on. So his voice was very controlled, and he would just kind of let it fly in certain places and get real gravelly, and then come right back to the control part of it. And that was a cool little shtick he's got going on.
I like that. I like that whole review you just
Thank
gave
you.
there.
Right.
Very nice.
Trademark.
Very nice.
Copyright.
Yeah, not much else to say. I think it's obviously influenced. They have influenced or have influences from Typo Negative as well as a ton of other goth bands. And you can hear the guitar. It's like almost metal hard rock schooling of guitar. So they're just mixing all these things together. In fact, they were supposed to be the opening band. They were scheduled to be on tour, and for some reason it got canceled, but they were the opening band for Wasp.
Whoa.
On tour this year.
I wish we could have seen them.
Well, I mean, hell, we got a good band, so we got Armored Saint.
Yeah, that's good, but it didn't appeal to me in the sense that I was not as big of a fan of them as you are.
Yeah, I love
you
that
got
band.
your money's worth.
I did get my money's worth. I could have left after them.
Blackie was like, "Screw you, Robert."
You know, Blackie doesn't climb up on the old mic stand anymore. He had back surgery.
Really, we got to see the last of it.
Yeah, they shipped that thing somewhere else.
I hope it's in a museum.
Yeah, hopefully.
It needs to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Blackie's mic stand.
Elvis. It has a name.
Yes. The mic stand's name is Elvis?
Yes.
He climbs on Elvis. That's a little sacrilegious. I don't like that.
Okay.
Proof.
Sorry, sir. You can't do that. Oh, Unto Others. Great band. Go check them out. Again, new album just came out, Never Neverland. It may end up on a show later this year.
But I like the fact they have variety, and I think that's one thing about Typo. They were heavy, but
they had
from
a lot of variety.
Song to song. I mean, like I said, you had humorous songs, you had raunchy songs, you had seriously deep, dark songs.
Sometimes they would go back kind of the thrash thing and do those kind of blast beats and just real quick.
Like a 2.5-minute song.
Yeah, so they ran the gamut for sure. And something we didn't call out in the last song that they had a lot of in Typo were the kind of church organ keyboards too. So we might get some of that coming up soon.
Very cathedral sounding keys.
Exactly. So that might come up next. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Okay. Listen out for
Suspense. Stay tuned.
So here's a band we also played on the same episode last year that we played Unto Others on. It was the Goth episode last year, 198. We played this band, and I read this whole long diatribe from Chris Sinzak, who had said, "Tell me that you've never heard our podcast without telling me you've never heard our podcast." And I read this whole thing about this band, and basically they were saying we used to be called Goat Whore, and it was very not Decibel Geek.
Yeah.
And of course, I made the remark like, yeah, we'll be playing those guys later.
Check. Thank you.
And the reason
show prep.
The reason I said that is, they had this whole like plunge yourself into a religious fervor of penance and attrition steeped in the sounds of the Roman Catholic Church, yada, 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 yada.
Yes.
And then they said typo negative in the yadas. And I'm like, oh yeah.
You're like, excuse me?
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
You have my attention.
All right. Well, let's
I
check
remember
it
this
out.
band. I remember going through their whole catalog several times last year. So thank you for the reminder.
The name of the band is Marble Orchard.
Yes.
And so that got our attention. We liked them last year, so I thought, why not bring them back? Because they're like a modern take on Typo's brand of goth metal, I think.
A little bit of religious undertones.
Yeah.
Maybe not a little, a lot.
A whole lot.
A whole lot.
Yeah. Band from San Antonio, Texas, which
the least gothiest place
not
on earth.
think of. Yeah. Maybe Austin, because they got the bats. You ever been to Austin, seen the bats?
No, there's hippies there instead of bats now.
No, well, there are a lot of hippies there too, but there always have been hippies there. But no, they have
there's a cave right outside of town or something?
It's a bridge.
Oh,
so they live underneath the bridge, and then at a certain time at night, they right before dusk, they come out, and everybody sits on the bridge and like every night and watches the bats come out in the summer.
And they poop on you, and you get bacteria, and you die.
And most people die.
Yeah,
which makes it even gothier.
True.
All right, so let's play some Marble Orchard from their album that came out last year, Building Monuments to Misery. Here is Liar's Tongue.
All right, you're going to hate me for this, but I have another idea for an Obscuria segment or show.
Another series you're coming up with? Captain Content. This is Captain Content
live,
working.
Raw.
This is a design thinking session live.
The purest form.
Captain Content!
InObscuria Travel Agency.
What the hell you say?
For songs that take you places.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's pretty nice,
That's
actually.
Right off the cuff.
Oh, look at that.
But so that song, if it did not take you places, go back. You were not paying attention. You were distracted. You were looking at your phone. You're doing your kids running around. Tell them to get out of the room. Listen to that song again. Like almost all Pink Floyd songs will take me places, even sober. But that, and I remember listening to that again. It's got the same vibe as the typo stuff, but also made me think of churches these days. You know, the older churches that play the old traditional organ music and stuff like that, well, they're dying out. Churches that are growing, playing rock and roll music. Kids flock to them. What about monasteries? Because you had that, sound like a
Gregorian chant.
I bet you they're just looking around to get people to join as monks because nobody wants to do that. You play this stuff, you'll have a waiting list for people to shave their head and wear robes.
Yeah, if
and
you've
walk
got
around
some
flip flops.
You got some blast beats or some double kick you can add to that chant.
Make some monk beer or whatever monks do. What do monks do? I don't know. They walk around and just do stuff.
Are there monks now? I don't know.
I don't know.
Where are monks? I don't know.
Somebody tell us.
If you're a monk and you listen to InObscuria,
first of all,
you have an invitation to come on the show.
You will be put in first in line. We'll cancel all of our other guests. You get the special guest chair.
As long as you wear a robe.
Got to wear the robe.
That's right. The only way you get entry
and little flip
to the
flops.
house.
Little Catholic flip flops.
Yeah.
So yeah, that song, we've talked about them before. I love them. I can't wait to go back again. It's that time to go through their catalog again. It's just love it.
And so on point with Typo Negative. Yet at the same time, they're doing their own thing. Because Typo may have thrown in those church organs from time to time. It was more background. Although Typo was great at doing heavy song and then just changing direction all of a sudden, and you're in this lull of a church organ kind of thing, just like this. And then they go back to heavy, and then maybe they I don't know, like outro, they change again into something else.
It would sneak some progginess in on you.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, well, let's get to another band. We talked about Sal's band that he had. What did the other guys in Typo Negative end up doing? Well, I'll tell you. This band, an American doom metal band composed of vocalist guitarist Kenny Hickey and drummer John Kelly, both formerly of Typo Negative. So here is the guitarist from Typo Negative. This is where he went. They added a guitarist named Matt Brown, who played with, later on, a pale horse named Death. So it's just incestuous, these
really
bands.
Is, yeah.
And
in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. And this band is called Seventh Void. And they actually were trying not to be so close to Typo. I'm not sure they hit that mark because I think it's very similar. They put out a debut album called Heaven Is Gone in 2009, and they put it on Vinnie Paul's record label, Big Vin Records, which is kind of cool. And in 2010, they did a little Europe and UK tour, and Peter died, I guess, while they were kind of out doing their thing.
That was not on the schedule. That was
not on the
unplanned.
Schedule. So I told you the last Typo album was in 2007. So these guys had already kind of moved on. They knew that something was going on with Peter, and
it was not a sudden, unexpected death.
So he actually passed away while they were touring with this new band.
He loved life, every bit of life.
He did, and then he got back to his Catholic roots.
Yes, and then it's interesting story.
In perfect time.
Yes.
So the guitarist Matt Brown left in 2011. Like I said, he went and played with a pale horse named Death, and they decided we're going to recruit this guy from Agnostic Front, who's an old school hardcore band, and his name is Joseph James. And they also said, you know what, we should add a keyboardist. And then they realized as they were playing songs, like, wait a minute.
Oh,
son of a. This sounds just like what we used to do in their heads.
Yeah.
So they didn't put another album out as Seventh Void. They decided, well, Seventh Void wasn't supposed to be a Typo thing.
Yeah.
If this band's going to sound more like Typo, we're going to have to rename ourselves. And that's what they did. They announced the band was over by 2017. They took their time. And they reemerged in 2019 as a band called Silver Tomb. Now, I'm not going to play Silver Tomb because even though they think that sounds more like Typo, I think Seventh Void had more similarity to Typo. And you tell me. I mean, I hear it right here in this song that we're about to play.
All right.
This is called Slow Descent from their one album, Heaven Is Gone.
God, where do you start with that? First of all, heavy, sludgy, grungy almost. Not almost. Very grungy, sludgy. Have they been asked to do any type of tributes for Soundgarden?
They should, right?
Has there been like a Soundgarden tribute album? Because they're probably not, because who's going to step up and go, oh, yeah, I'll sing some Chris Cornell.
Oh, I think there are tribute albums out there.
But like I said, who wants to be the guy that, like, I understand if somebody's going to interpret a Soundgarden song, but if they're like, no, we want you to sing it kind of like Chris did, you're like, no.
Give me a little more Cornell,
Can
would
we
you?
take it down 4 octaves, please? Anyway, so yes, heavy, and just, without as much of the churchiness and all this other stuff, but just nailed Typo, just heavy.
It's Kenny Hickey. It's the guitarist from Typo Negative.
Yeah.
If it's not Peter Steele and his bass, it is
the guitar
that you're getting from Typo.
You know and love.
You love it. Now, what he wasn't doing was he wasn't playing that kind of processed sound that he used in Typo.
True. I didn't think about that. You're right. That was more of just a natural
sound.
Yeah.
And that was more of a straight out of an amp sort of a deal. But yeah, that was the only difference. But you can still tell that's Kenny Hickey.
Yeah.
We mentioned Johnny Kelly, the drummer, twice now. Do you know what he's doing right now? He's still
Avon.
No, he's still officially in Silvertomb, which is the band that this became. But he is the drummer. He is the replacement for Frankie Banali after Frankie died. He is in Quiet Riot. He's touring with Rudy Sarzo's Quiet Riot.
Have you seen the video of him on stage? He's like a zombie. He's like 93 years old. Oh, that's
Rudy?
Frankie. That's Frankie Valli.
Oh,
sorry.
No.
I got that mixed up.
Oh boy.
Girls don't cry. Yeah,
he's lip syncing, right?
It's the saddest thing. It's the meme that's going around is this is elder abuse, because he really is just standing there. His lips are barely moving, and it's him singing from 1965 or something like that. And it's just sad. God, just go away. Anyway, back to the good music.
Back to Seventh Void.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you agree, right? That had a lot of typo in it.
A lot.
But they considered this not to be typo, and that Silvertomb is. So maybe we'll get into Silvertomb at some other time, but I think that was very typo. Okay, now I was reading the cereal box as we were listening to that song, and we said it earlier, the ghost turned the milk green. Now, as I was having another little cup here of that, I realized that there's nothing green in my cup. The ghosts are pink. So what does that mean chemical-wise? What have we just put into our body?
Means our pee is going to be green.
Well, I think it already is, isn't it?
Oh, dude, you need to drink some water, man. Wow.
Oh, wait, is that not normal?
No, you pee clear, man.
Oh.
That was one of the lessons.
When I pee, it's typo negative.
No. Of all the things I learned going to Burning Man, pee clear. And because if you're peeing yellow, you're already behind the curve of being hydrated. And that's a serious problem there. Like, it really does ruin your week if you get dehydrated on the second day. You can't really catch back up again. But they teach you that before. Your friends will tell you before you go to, start drinking water before you even get there. And if you see that you're not peeing clear, up your water content. So if you're peeing green, that is your body screaming for more water. Take it from me, the guy that's passed a kidney stone. You don't want to go there. Drink more water. That's our lesson. The more you know. It's our public service announcement. It's my community service, actually. I'm required
to give at least 2 of these.
Per my agreement
episode,
with the city.
Well, I appreciate that little announcement. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyway, I was just worried of what we've put into our body. We ate
now you're
pink
worried
things.
after 2 years of doing this?
We ate pink cereal, and it's going to turn something green. I don't know what's going on here.
You're corrupting me, man. I had a nice, healthy lifestyle until you showed up.
It really makes me want to play this last song, which is the name of the song is Spleen.
the green spleen.
Green spleen.
It's green spleen. Well, Typo had green light, so this is the green spleen.
And this band that I'm going to end with,
yes, they
also have a very green album cover.
Oh, yeah?
They named the album Spleen, and we're going to play the song Spleen.
Spleen from Spleen.
Okay. New Zealand and Australian gothic doom metal power trio. This might be the closest thing you've heard yet to Typo Negative.
What you saved for last.
What you're about to get. Only 2 releases, 9 years apart. They're, they got things going on.
Now, most other bands, you could probably BS me and play the actual band, and I might not know it, but I think I've heard enough Typo repeatedly that I could call BS if you're trying to pull one over on me.
Now, they do a little bit of screaming, a little heavier screaming.
Okay.
Peter did it every once in a while.
Yeah.
But they have a little bit of that in here. here, but this is dark metal with atmospheric keyboards, cathedral organs, gnarly guitar tone.
Check.
They actually get not the John Kelly. They get the Kenny Hickey sound here of the 90s. The drums sound very crisp, almost as if they were programmed or triggered. And then they have an epic length to this song that we're going to play with lots of tempo changes and breakdowns. So Black and Green Duotone album cover. I give you Orphans of Dusk.
What is the measure of a man? But
damn.
What else can you say?
Well, a lot. First of all, any band that can work in the word spleen into a serious song that's not a comedy. God, that was great. And Typo was also famous for having some really big songs. I mean, their sounds were all powerful, but then Love You to Death and several other
epic
songs. And God, that was epic as it comes. Has all the parts in that it needs, all the starting off soft, building, going in different directions, just like you said.
Yep.
Throwing some progginess there.
Yeah.
Takes you to places, all the great places.
Little death growl here and there.
Yeah.
Never hurt anybody.
No, but it breaks it up. There's no monotony in any of these songs.
Yeah, I heard this band and immediately downloaded both of their albums.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
So the song was Spleen off the album Spleen. And what was the band name?
Orphans of Dusk.
Orphans of Dusk. Yeah, I'll never remember that.
They're half New Zealanders, half Australians.
G'day, waffle.
Okay. Worst of both worlds.
Oh. Sorry, Craig.
Sorry.
Yeah,
no,
sorry, man.
He's in the fancy part, Australia.
Yeah, I don't even really have words other than they took the playbook, they ran it.
Yeah.
They ran it well. They won the Super Bowl of Gothic metal.
Of sounding like Typo. They won. They got a little trophy.
Winners.
Yeah.
Tonight's winners.
Absolutely. Big W. Big W for us, too.
Exactly. So here's what I would tell the folks to do. If you like Typo Negative, or if you're just starting to get into Typo Negative, make yourself a playlist, put all the Typo albums in. They only have 7. So
right. It's easy to kind of track through in a day or so.
You're going to want more.
Yeah.
And to satisfy that need, Typo's not around anymore. So you take these bands, you add their albums to the playlist, and then you got a nice big playlist and a lot of
with 2 C's.
Same sonic space for your ears, and very, very
Gothtober.
Absolutely. That'll fill in at least a couple of days right there.
I got nothing left. I don't know what else to say after this.
When you're sitting at home waiting for the trick-or-treaters to come because you don't want to go out taking the kids around the block again, you're like, no, I'll just stay here. Just put that on.
Yeah,
and let them come to your door for that music.
Yeah, just crank it up. Open the window, put this on, or put your little Bluetooth speaker outside so the trick-or-treaters get, a sense of what
Gothtober
is really about.
Yeah, as you sit there and pick out the good stuff for yourself and kind of put it aside where nobody sees it.
Exactly.
And you're giving away the starbursts.
And you instead give them little bags of Halloween crunch.
Granola?
What the hell did you just say?
No, this crunch right here.
Oh.
And say, hey, kids, it'll turn your milk green, just like this music.
Well, I think when my cousin Frankie was on the podcast a couple of years ago, we told the story, but we were living together as roommates and forgot that it was Halloween, and people started knocking on our door, and neither one of us had any candy. And so the pantry was right there by the front door. And so both of us, we opened the pantry. We were grabbing leftover potted meat from when he had hiked the Appalachian Trail. It was probably 2 years old at that point.
Underwood deviled ham.
Yeah, it was like little cans of that. We were giving it to the kids. They were just looking at us like, thank you. I think there was a granola bar and then like a can of tuna or something. We're just anything.
Here you go, kid. I got some ketchup.
Oh, there's like a package of seasoning.
Exactly.
Like soup seasoning.
This is 1 ounce of Tabasco. You go ahead.
You just knock yourself out there, son. Don't take it all at one time. But yeah, that was the only thing. After that, I think we turned the lights off, got smart, just locked the door.
Yeah, you ran out of shit to give them.
Yeah, well, the bad stuff. The rest of it was gold back then. I was poor. Right. That was giving away. I give away the potted meat all day, but not the tuna. That was the good stuff.
All right, man. Well, we got our typo fill, even though it wasn't typo.
Good. That felt good, though. Scratch that itch. Thank you.
Exactly. We are almost done. We're almost through this month.
Don't say that. No, it lasts forever in my head.
Already.
It's always spooky in my head.
Well, we've got 1 week left to haunt you, and we'll do it well.
Make it a good one.
We'll be back next week, everyone. Until then,
see ya.
He walks tall and carries a butcher knife. The boogeyman only wants to take your life. Can kill him off, he'll just come right back in part 2. Boo.
happy haunting.